It was a typical quiet afternoon in my suburban neighborhood. The sun cast warm, golden rays over the neatly trimmed lawns and white picket fences. I had just finished my usual cup of chamomile tea, savoring the tranquility of the day. Life had fallen into a predictable rhythm since my husband passed away 5 years ago. While I treasured the peace, there were moments when the silence felt overwhelming. The unexpected knock on my door startled me, breaking the monotony of the afternoon. Curious and slightly apprehensive, I opened the door to find Daniel, my next-door neighbor, standing there. He looked more anxious than usual, his kind eyes betraying a vulnerability I hadn't seen before. "Hi, Claire," he began, his voice soft but firm. "I hope I'm not bothering you." "Not at all," I replied, gesturing for him to come inside. "What brings you here?" Before we dive into this emotional story, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories and tales that touch the soul. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who loves stories of resilience and unexpected connections. Daniel hesitated as he stepped into the living room, glancing over his shoulder as if ensuring no one else was watching. His usual confident demeanor was replaced by an unease that piqued my curiosity. When he finally sat down, he clasped his hands tightly and took a deep breath. "Claire," he said, his voice tinged with urgency, "I need your help. It's something personal, and I don't know who else to turn to." I was taken aback. We'd always exchanged pleasantries, friendly chats about the weather or gardening, but this was the first time he'd come to me with something so serious. "Of course, Daniel," I said, sitting across from him. "What's on your mind?" He explained his predicament in a halting voice, his gaze occasionally darting to the window. His younger sister, Emily, was going through a difficult divorce. She had always relied on Daniel for support, but this time her emotional state required a nurturing presence, something he felt I could provide. "She's fragile right now," Daniel admitted, running a hand through his neatly trimmed hair. "I think hearing from someone who's been through hardship and come out stronger could really help her." His words caught me off guard. It was an unusual request, and I wasn't sure what to make of it. But as Daniel spoke, I could sense how deeply he cared for his sister. There was an endearing vulnerability in his voice, a quiet desperation that was hard to ignore. "I'd be honored to meet her," I said, placing a reassuring hand on his. "If you think I can make a difference, I'll do what I can." The gratitude that lit up his face was enough to convince me I'd made the right decision. Over the next few days, Daniel and I arranged for Emily to visit my home. In the meantime, he began stopping by more often, sharing stories about his family, his work, and his dreams. Each visit left me looking forward to the next in a way I hadn't felt in years. One evening, as we sat on my porch sipping lemonade and watching the sunset, Daniel turned to me with an intensity that made my heart skip a beat. "Claire," he began, his voice low and steady, "I never expected this favor to bring us closer, but it's been nice, hasn't it?" I nodded, unsure of what to say. There was a warmth between us, something unspoken but undeniably present. It was a feeling I hadn't experienced since my husband passed, and it both scared and excited me. The day Emily finally came to my home, I was both nervous and hopeful. She arrived timid and unsure, her posture betraying the emotional weight she carried. But as we sat together and talked, I saw her begin to open up. We shared stories of resilience and hope, and by the time she left, I felt as though I'd gained a friend. When Daniel came by to check on Emily later that evening, his gratitude was evident. He hugged me tightly, lingering just a moment longer than necessary. "Thank you, Claire," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You've done more for Emily than I ever could have imagined. And you've done something for me too." That evening, as we shared a quiet dinner in my dining room, Daniel opened up in a way he hadn't before. He confessed that his visits hadn't been just about Emily. They'd been about the connection he felt with me. "I never thought I'd feel this way again," he admitted, his eyes searching mine. "But you've reminded me that it's never too late to find happiness." I was stunned. But as I looked into his eyes, I realized I felt the same. The moments we'd shared, the laughter, the quiet conversations, had awakened something in me I thought was long gone. That night, under the soft glow of my dining room chandelier, we shared our first kiss. It was tender and hesitant, but it carried the promise of something beautiful. In the weeks that followed, Daniel and I began exploring this new chapter of our lives. It wasn't always easy. Blending our histories and expectations took effort, but it was worth every moment. Emily continued to thrive, and so did we. Looking back, I realized that the favor Daniel asked of me wasn't just about helping his sister. It was about helping both of us find the courage to embrace the possibility of love again. Sometimes, the most unexpected requests can lead to the most extraordinary journeys. Outro call to action. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video with someone who loves emotional and inspiring stories. Let us know in the comments what you think about Claire and Daniel's journey. Until next time, take care and cherish the unexpected moments in life.